Welcome back. Now we're almost done implementing character death. We just have a problem. Whenever the character dies, the enemy will continue to attack, and we want the enemy to stop attacking once we're done. So there are a couple of things we need to do. First, let's look at our behavior tree. We have this node that checks to see if the enemy is dead, in which case we go into this sequence, and we'll continue going into this sequence forever. So we can give this a comment and say, enemy is dead. Now we can do the same thing if the character is dead. So we can go over here to the blackboard, add a new bool key, and call this character dead. And here in the behavior tree, we can simply drag out and create a new sequence. Now this sequence can have nothing on it, just like this enemy is dead branch here. Only for this one, we're going to give it its own decorator and choose blackboard. And for our node name, we can rename this is character dead. Now we simply need to take our blackboard key and set it to character dead and leave the key query to is set. Now just like the is dead decorator, we're going to use notify observer on result change, and observer aborts will be set to both. So here on is character dead, let's set observer aborts to both. And now we'll get the same behavior here that we got for the enemy is dead branch here. So let's give this one a comment and say character is dead. Okay, let's save. So let's go into shooter-character.cpp and go to take damage, because here in take damage, we have access to this A controller event instigator. This is the enemy controller. Remember, if we go into enemy.cpp and search for apply damage, when we call apply damage, for the third input parameter, we pass in enemy controller. That's the event instigator. So here in shooter-character.cpp and take damage, we can use this event instigator, and we need to cast this to an enemy controller. So before we do that, let's go ahead and include our enemy controller up at the top. So we're going to say include enemy controller.h. So now when we go back to take damage, now we can take our event instigator here and cast to an A enemy controller. So we're going to say auto enemy controller equals cast to A enemy controller, and we'll pass in event instigator. Now if this cast is successful, if enemy controller, then we're going to say enemy controller get blackboard component set value as bool, and we're going to set the value of the bool key called character dead, and we're going to set that to true. Now we're going to get an IntelliSense error because we need the header for the blackboard component type. We can go into enemy.cpp and go up to the top and get our behavior tree / blackboard component.h include, and we can paste that up at the top of shooter-character.cpp. So let's go ahead and do that, and now we get rid of the error. So let's go ahead and compile this. All right, so let's go ahead and allow the enemy to kill the character. There's the death, and we'll see that the enemy just stands there now. It's no longer attacking, which is exactly what we wanted. Perfect. That's going to conclude this video. I'll see you in the next one.